everyone, this is Greyshot117
and Greyshot151 here.
doing a third anime review this week. Man, aren't you excited about all the anime coming to the channel? Not really? Okay, well, we'll have more movie review stuff like that coming out soon. But in any case, we are doing Recreators.
Yes, if you also pay notice to all the series that watch, all of them have been reviewed by him except for one. That's by me. And you wanna know why? Because Recreators, out of the
so I vet them all.
Hold on. After Moe Depression Simulator and
Old Man Iron Man
and watching an old man fight shirtless. Surprisingly, I decided to go with the one that was based off characters coming into the real world and having some interesting plot stories.
It's the opposite of an...
all of which, by the way, are done by the Amazon strike, now going for Prime. So if you have Prime, you can watch these series.
Right now I'm on Land of Lustrious, so I'm trying to get through that. But
yeah.
In any case, so what does Recreators have in store? Well, I will say this right off the bat. Out of the three that is Made in Abyss, Inuyashiki, and Recreators, Recreators probably story-wise and hero and villain-wise may not be up to the levels of Inuyashiki or Made in Abyss in terms of story. But dear Lord, I had more fun with this series than it has any right to. I fucking love this show.
It was a really good show.
Yeah.
Really, really good show.
First off, let's go with the main story. So it involves a 16-year-old kid getting transported to another world. And before you say, Greyshot, is this another stupid isekai show? No. It is maybe not as smart.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me, simple terms. Basically, is this a show where someone gets taken, because no one knows what isekai means. This is a show that basically has the main protagonist go to a
I can't wait for the comments just to murder you.
He's basically super special and the protagonist and all that. No.
He's OP. He does everything he wants in this fantasy / medieval / futuristic / game world, and he's OP and gets all the ladies.
No.
Well, in this world, no. Actually, immediately when he goes into this world, he gets pulled out. And it's funny because it's actually an anime going on, and for some reason, he has no idea why he's there. And then all of a sudden, he's back in his room, and the lead from said anime is also in his room and also wants to murder him because she's like, "What? You put me back! Put me back! I was in the middle of something." So from there, things escalate because a villain is introduced known as
Altair. The name doesn't matter.
Okay, well, it kind of does.
No, it doesn't. It has no...
It's funny. Her name is initially, which I kind of rolled my eyes.
Military Uniform Princess.
That's her name. Military Uniform Princess. It's like, really?
What else would you describe her? White-haired chick with sword? I mean...
Mupp has entered the area. Mupp has entered the area.
It's a Mupo. It's a Mupo. But in any case, no. So basically... it starts off with this kid goes into another world. He sees the character of a show fighting off with this character he doesn't recognize, which is this military uniform princess. Which don't you know why she's a princess? Okay, a girl with white hair. She looks like a Spanish soldier, and it's awesome. Her design, I will say this, her design is badass. Whoever designed her, I'm like thumbs up. In any case, there's a brief engagement, and before they know it, the original kid is back in his own world, the reality, which was normal Japan, with the person from the show. Yes. And slowly but surely, not only does this character or this creation quickly realize that it's in our world and has all of its own powers. But she's not alone. There are others that have also been brought to this world for a purpose which we will not go into for spoilers. However, they are not all from the same world. Nor are they all good or not all. They are all heroes from their world. Imagine, if you will, if you want a good representation. Imagine if the Master Chief, a player from Madden. I'm trying to think of other players. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh God. Mewtwo and. I don't know. Throw in Zelda. Nathan Drake all showed up. They're all from different... They all have different worlds. They all have different powers. They're all of different relationships. But they're all like heroes, anti-heroes, villains of their own stories. And this is what happens in this episode. Not everyone's hero. Not everyone's the lead. But there are some heroes. And if you want the closest thing, it'd very much be like... a character resembles Guts from Berserk. Yep. A character resembles... JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And then you have like a kind of a villain kind of motive where you see in like Kill la Kill-esque, where it's kind of just like not really a villain but anti-hero, kind of a rivals type character.
Yes.
And then you also
think of like an enemy of like Persona, or even better yet, which I personally thought of. Think of the rival of like in Pokemon with the spiked hair, but he's kind of friends with the main lead. That's essentially what this is. It's like the Vegeta of the world, but it's not like that.
Except Vegeta was the villain by one point. Anyway, we also have a magical girl, which is essentially, let's get a kids cartoons like Dora the Explorer and put Dora in the real world. How long do you think Dora, until she would have a mental break from people being
what
like...
What do you mean I can't find my map? What do you mean I can't...
Answer it yourself. No one wants... It's like...
Shut up, kid. No one wants to hear you scream backpack. But no, yeah.
Do you know where the map is? No, I don't, kid. Go fucking find it yourself.
But no, all these characters have different backstories, different... issues of their own world that are brought, and not only that, but their conflicts also stem over to their creators, which is a very much a main sticking point of this film. Oh, also we almost forgot
TV show, but go on.
The main lead of Evangelion, like and the mech itself, also show up,
which is great.
Yeah,
they even have like
a military engagement.
My arms got hurt, my arms hurt, and then it's like, oh, his arms hurt too. So a lot of the same type of like, I don't say tropes, but the character flaws and ideas from the shows you remember carry on at this, and that I would say is its greatest strength and weakness. If you've not seen like Madoka Magica, Berserk, Sword Art Online, stuff like that, or heard of them,
I'll be honest, I have not watched any of those shows, but I knew what they were referencing just because, like, I remember, I've never watched it, but I know what, like, Sailor Moon is. Like, I get that what the shtick they're pulling. I know what Vegeta is. I know, like, the main series. So I could pull what they were kind of going at from these type of references.
But yeah, if you don't know, it's going to be a lot harder to get a grip of what each of their powers are and how, like, their levels are. Though I will say, even though they are kind of mirroring a lot of major characters, they're unique enough to stand on their own, I would say. Like
some more so than others, yes, I will say, because like they're like the main lead, Celestia, and
she's not a standard.
I would say Celestia, the rival.
Vittoria's pretty good. She's exposition heavy, but she's good.
Alisteria, the Berserk character.
I love Blitz. Blitz was great.
Who's Blitz?
The cold hard detective.
Oh yeah, but for me it was those three, and then those three probably were the biggest leads for me, just because they actually had the most character and most time. Yeah, every time they showed up on the screen, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting.
Also, I know this is gonna be you might not like her, but every time she was on screen, I love Mamaki. Mamaki, yeah. Every time. I know she was the magical girl of this, but I liked it because it was essentially a 5-year-old coming in being like, guys, let's just talk it out. And there's two people like all pumped up like, no, we are going to brawl right now. And she's like, I don't understand. Just like, let's just calm down. And of course, then they start killing each other, and it's great. Which, by the way, once again, this show is a lot. This has some darkness to it. And also, I like how the main protagonist that you think is going to go isn't how it goes. For example, when Sota, the main character you first see, gets sent into this world, I thought he was literally going to be the main protagonist. Yep. And he's not.
He's a side character, honestly. This is very much I'm not making use of the comparison, but this is very much like Game of Thrones, where there isn't I mean, you could make an argument Jon Snow or Daenerys is, but this is very much there's a lot of characters. They each have their moments. And while, yes, there are certain that you can definitely deem as main characters, I will say the high school student in the main. I will say the first girl the first person that comes in, as well as the librarian character. Yeah.
Matora.
Yeah. Those two, those three, I would say, are the main, as well as the original creator of Celestia. By the way, and Altair.
I should also mention there are a ton of you get to see the creations, that essentially the people in the anime, the manga, the all the different variations of media. Essentially, it's media characters that people love. Yep. And then also on the other side, you get to see the people who made them, and I really like that dynamic going back and forth, because you get to see how these people make their creations and their thought process behind it. A lot of them, it's because of passion, love. Someone's like, I need to hit a deadline and I need something big, so this is what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Also, there was just another one again, and it's not all these characters when they meet their creators, they're like, oh my god, you're so awesome. It's very much, there's a lot of conflicts, because it's like, You know,
how do you think Rick from The Walking Dead would deal with Robert Kirkman? Do you think he would be like, man, you make such a great world to live in?
Yeah.
Or he would be like, why did you kill my family?
Yeah, it's very much like that. But there's other situations where the guy just, it's like, you're just fate. You're just riding by the seat of your pants and you're just connected. Meh. Yeah. It's like, there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
And that hurts for like a creation to be like, yeah, I'm just writing on the fly. And he or she is like, oh no.
There's also a lot of good comedy in regards to that, especially with like the entrance of the mech with the Genji character.
Yeah.
When he shows up and there's an instant with the military that because they're basically trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And I will also say the military is done in it's not great, but it's done in a good way where they're not like throwing like idiots.
It's not gay, where I thought that entire military is run by complete morons.
But they do engage. They see a mech and they're like, "Holy shit! Engage!" and there's a moment all these soldiers break into a house and there's like minor engagement and the mech just picks up the house and it's just staring at all the soldiers and the soldiers like, "Oh shit." What are we gonna do?
We're not equipped for this.
There's literally rocket launchers firing at the mech, and the mech does nothing because it's supposed to be in his world. It's like from the 22nd century, so we're firing what basically is bows and arrows.
Yeah,
bows and arrows at a wood hull, which is like dink, dink, dink. So it's doing nothing.
Oh god. But anyway,
and then the other guy's just like, okay, put it down. We need to de-escalate. We need to put this down. But there's a lot of like good comedic moments and a lot of dark moments, which is nice balance.
Yeah. A couple things I do want to bring up.
Yes.
The animation I thought was really good when like again, it's not the best looking show. Like that Made in Abyss easily trounces this, but I will say for what its style is, it does hold up and the action sequences can get really good.
The other thing I will say is they do have 3D elements in here, which usually I don't like.
Yeah.
I am turning around, by the way, so keep an eye out for the Godzilla review. But they use it for special situations. So they only use it for like the mechs or like the big special attacks and whatnot, which are like, okay, this obviously isn't supposed to look like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, and with all this in mind, there are plot holes and there are issues that the story
the main story is here's the main threat and that's it for the entire
and it is kind of cool to see characters go back and forth in regards to what happens.
The characters are the best part of this show. The banter between two characters. We're like, how would a Guts-like character deal with a magical girl character? And that relationship is hilarious and great. And then you also have, again, a character that's just so heavy on dialogue and talking to a person that just knows fighting, pretty much.
It's like if someone was trying to explain why you shouldn't fight to Vegeta again. I keep using Vegeta, but that's the best course of answer. It's very much someone trying to explain Vegeta. It's like Gandhi trying to explain nonviolence to Vegeta. Vegeta's gonna be like,
you don't need to punch people. And Vegeta's like, what the? No, I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna go Super Saiyan.
Are you insane? You defy my Saiyan pride? Prepare to be eviscerated. Like that's pretty much how it happens, and it's very cool to see those interactions. Again, you kind of know where the plots are going to go. The plot isn't anything too unique, but
Sota, again, his character arc, I thought was going to be stupid. It actually turned out well.
Yeah. And the ending, I will say, is also pretty good.
Yes.
One last note I should also say is while there's not a lot of music for this show,
the
music that is there is actually pretty good.
Yes. There are very few shows like I'm being honest. Made in Abyss, I know people really like that music. I couldn't get around it. Inuyashiki, the intro was okay, but
by the way, I looked up that show.
Inuyashiki?
I nearly died of laughter.
Inuyashiki?
Yeah.
The old man. Yeah, it's great.
Well, okay.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it later. Time. I'll leave it at the end. But Jesus Christ.
But anyway, so what's our final score for this?
I would give this a 7 out of 10. And my reasoning is it's not super unique in that regard. It's not pulling like a Steins Gate in regards to its creativity and uniqueness. But what it does is creates an interesting plot line, interesting characters, and an interesting setup. There are some negatives. Some of the shots don't 100% work, while some of it is great.
It feels a little rushed.
Yeah. Some of the character interactions don't 100% work. Especially when it comes to like how they wrap up certain characters at the very end, specifically the villain character.
Oh, we're gonna fight on that in spoilers, but go ahead.
that I also the plot. There's a pretty major plot holes. Upon thinking back on it.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to the finale and how it's supposed to work and how people were supposed to believe how it's one thing, but it's taking place in the real world.
It's sort of not, but all right, keep going.
But in any case, those are criticism aside, it's a solid series. It does what it does great, and a 7 out of 10 is something that is very good, if not great. And
I would give it an 8 out of 10. Now, it's going to depend on the spoilers and how we debate. But anyway, spoilers, one thing I will say about this show. So, spoilers. They kill off creations. I did not expect that. And I'm like, and the first to go is Mamaki. And the most badass.
She gets impaled.
With the most badass. Because I didn't see it coming. I'm like, oh. I made a joke like 2 minutes before how she dives off a building and flies. I'm like, oh, she was trying to kill herself. That's hilarious. And I'm like... Again, she was like, it looked like she was killing herself at the angle, and then she flies. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. It made me want to think that. And then, no, she literally talks with Altair, and Altair's like...
Altair, by the way, again, she basically can control swords, and her powers originate from... Her whole shtick is she was created as a fan fiction.
Yep.
And she's kind of like Slender Man, where everyone creates their own backstory for her because she's so popular.
She's the creepypasta of the internet that won't die and gets keeping stronger. And people say, don't write about this person, and people keep writing about her. To give her more powers.
It's like if... You know how everyone...
It's Ugandan Knuckles. That stupid meme has now popped up, and people keep adding more and more BS to it.
If I may explain.
Yes.
It's like... Okay, you guys know Harambe.
Yes.
He's been in... The poor gorilla. It's been plenty of memes.
He's a new creation.
But imagine if he had all the powers, all the intelligence of everything he did... And everyone assumed...
Saving Private Harambe is a version of him,
Imagine if all of those things were assimilated into one character. How much power Harambe would have. That's basically Altair.
He's a god.
That's basically Altair. So he has all these different powers, like or she has all these powers. And she can control swords as her main one. And she basically just she just impales Mamika on a whole bunch of swords. And she's like... You know, if you're not going to play ball and you're not going to help me destroy the world, then why do I even have you here? And then Mamika goes out in a massive, like, gigantic explosion. Yeah.
And I'm just like, bravo. Because that's one of my favorite endings now. That's up there with ReZero. Just like, favorite way to end episode. Mamika blowing up half a city.
She blows up a big place, which, again, goes with the plot holes of, like, how no one notices a giant pink explosion. Or how in the final battle when it's supposed to be
I thought it was abandoned warehouse.
When it's supposed to be an anime, how no one notices that it looks like reality around them. No one makes note of this.
It's just really good CG.
If there would have been like a stylized or something, I would have believed it. But it's like, okay, so if they,
I was fine
should
with
have given it like another tint or something.
I was fine. All they did, they showed like the pre-rendered stuff they made to set it up, and then they showed the actual.
But it's the style of the show. That's my problem. It's like if Pixar. It's
well,
like,
Pixar.
But hold on. It's like in Pixar when they go between the monster universe and the actual verse. One is bright, one is dark. They're two different things.
But Toy Story, they do the imaginary world, and that's the exact same color as the real world.
Again, that's my note. But in regards to characters' deaths, there are some touching ones. Specifically, the one I actually like the most.
Celestia?
Celestia was great.
Which, by the way, she takes out her love interest. Altair brings in the love interest and tells him, like, if you want to finish fighting, do this for me. And I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Essentially, that's like Kirito dying from what's her name? Anyway,
it's a better example. Yeah. It's like Batman killing.
No, it's like Catwoman killing Batman.
Yeah.
Or Robin killing Batman or something like that.
Or Superman.
No, sorry, Batgirl killing Batman.
It's like Lois Lane with superpowers killing Superman.
Yes.
It's like, that's how the shtick is supposed to be.
And it's great.
Yeah. It's a very touching point. The other thing I will say, and while the character doesn't die, and again, spoilers, the rival, when he gets impaled and it's very much if Vegeta was stabbed, Goku going Super Saiyan and trying to beat the shit out of whoever just almost killed his friend. It's
Yuya, I think. Yuya?
No, that's the main antagonist. Oh, antagonist,
yeah.
He basically comes in and he just goes, there's like basically his powers. He can summon like a being which can use glass to attack from all these angles.
God.
So he shatters like all these skyscrapers' windows. They're falling around Altair, and all these like his curse then comes out from all these different angles at the same time to like just skewer her. And
by the way, Altair
epic.
Altair is a god, and also Alistair, who's essentially the berserk character who doesn't give up under any circumstance, who just keeps going, literally gives it everything she has to kill Altair. And Altair's like, you're not, it's like, and Alistair is like, I'm the main protagonist. I can do this.
I'm the hero. You will die by my hands.
And Altair's like, you're barely a side character, and just pushes her to the side.
Yeah.
And there's moments where Altair's like fighting a hero, and the hero's like, yeah, I got you. And then she'll just like literally in a mech suit come up from behind and be like, we have to continue this fight, but just letting you know, I could kill you right now, so watch your step. And then it goes back to fighting.
Yeah, she's basically doing this. She knows everything that's going on. She's very much she knows the meta. She knows like, okay, listen, you're going to try to kill me, and I'm then going to try to kill you, and I'm just going to let you live. Because let's be honest, the longer I stay here, the better it is for me, because the more power you use, the closer I get to my wishes. Because once so much power is used by we never really mentioned that.
Yeah.
So once the creations, because they're coming in, they come with their own powers. They're basically bringing their own laws of physics.
They're breaking the physics, yeah.
They're breaking our world's physics.
A person can't fly by just Wonder Woman style, flying around.
Yeah, also a 200-foot mech can't fire a beam and cause a massive explosion. That doesn't really happen in our world.
Yeah.
So all these, and like there's all these different versions of all these different characters, and they're all going against each other.
If Michael Bay's Transformers entered our world, we'd be fucked by the amount of explosions caused by just a robot landing.
Yeah, it would be extremely bad. But it's very much the more power you use against, it's like when it's very much more power you use against me, the closer I get to my goal. How they wrap it up and how they stop her, you kind of can guess, but it's still pretty. I still enjoyed it, and it's a very non-violent way to end a violent conversation.
I did like that.
Yeah, which was a nice.
Also,
ending.
the scene in which, literally, by the way, the original creator of Altair, killed herself because literally of online hate, which again, as a person who has seen that kind of in very small scale on my end and then large scale to other people, I enjoyed that because actually, and again, I didn't enjoy her suffering through it, but I enjoyed the fact that yes, this is an actual thing and this does cause people to hurt themselves. And I liked how the main character is not a good person. No. Like, again, he just lets her just get bullied online through all these people because they think she did something she did not do. And that was rough to get through. That's a hard episode when you hear that. Because, again, you can see how they really liked each other's company and they really got close. But then as soon as Setsuna, I think is her name, got essentially a job as being an animator and, like, all these, like, rewards, he's like, you're too good. I'm just going to back off. And then, of course, when she started falling from grace, instead of helping her, he just stayed away like, you know what? You're better than me, so you should deal with this. And that hurt. That was brutal. And I liked, again, toward the end, yeah, they can beat Altair. They have to essentially make a creation of Setsuna to finish Altair and send them off. Essentially, it's like, we're going to send you off Planet Hulk style into another world because we can't beat you.
Yeah, she's just too OP. This is why One Punch Man, if he was actually evil and came to our world, would be freaking screwed.
If there's ever an abridged, I just want someone to be like, we got this, and they summon One Punch Man, he goes flying, and Altair's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, new plan.
Well, it's very much like you get the power. How all these creations get their power is very much like it's almost like if you ever seen the show American Gods, or read the book. It's very much the more belief and the more people have faith or enjoy these characters, or it's very much with people enjoy these characters that they give them power essentially by just giving them attention. It's almost like in like religion, if like the most powerful beings in the world would be like Jesus and Allah and whatnot, like these beings that we create. Very much, it's like South Park, the Imagination Land. Kind of like that. In that regard, was like, is Jesus imaginary? Well, so is the devil. So we just definitely destroy it. But no, it uses that kind of logic, and that's how these characters gain their powers and how they actually get more power. Because the whole finale is basically they do a massive crossover event, which everyone goes nuts over. Therefore, they have to give them more powers, so everyone believes it's like a natural progression.
And the idea behind that is they can lock down Altair, and with all the boosted heroes, finally finish her off.
But that doesn't go in any way, shape, or form. All their plans fail.
Yeah, and it's great.
And she knows.
Yes.
She already knows all the plans.
And that's why, in my personal opinion, the quote-unquote hero of this story is Altair. She's penning up this script, knowing exactly how the hero's going to do everything. And even though she might be blindsided by, like, the magical girl being like, you know, maybe you shouldn't do this, and she's like, well, I'm just going to write you out of this story.
Yeah.
She doesn't physically write, but essentially in her head, she's just going through and moving the pieces around. But that's why I really enjoyed her, because the more you learn about her and her, like, kind of, like, every time she was on screen, I'm like, wow, this is a good villain. Like, because it's hard to find, like, a good, solid, like, villain to chew on in a long TV show that actually can stand up to the hero and all these people and kind of match.
Yeah.
But no, she does it, and also these creations are great. The creators are great. I loved how, like, Blitz's creator was just like, a woman was like, I had a deadline. I needed something, and I thought your daughter dying would be the best thing. And also, but here's the thing, knows exactly what Blitz is thinking, so she can outplay him. And then also, like, Setsuna's creator being like, yeah, I just write. She's the person who draws you. And, like, everything. It's like, I just think of good plot ideas. She puts them together on paper. And that whole dynamic was great. And all the others.
Yep.
But, like I said, I'm going to probably give this series an 8 because, oh boy, I like I said, I really enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it's probably not going to make our top 10 series when that comes out, but
no, it won't. But that being said, Made in Abyss also probably won't make our top 10 series, because that's will be coming out literally in the next few days for TV show. Right? No, also, you're doing movies, I'm doing TV show, and they'll be out the next couple weeks. But otherwise, guys, it's been Greyshot17
and 151,
and we will see you next time for the review of
Godzilla.
Monster
Planet.
It's on Netflix, and it's in English. It's in English.
It is in English, which is a definite plus.
After the last 3 shows, which were in Japanese, and the 4th one I'm doing now, it's nice to hear English.
4th one?
Land of the Illustrious. We'll get to that. Anyway, we'll see you next time, guys. Hey guys, before I go, I want to give a special shout out once again to Joey, Ace, Sean, Sejones, Leonard, Lou, Nick, Levings, and Tim. Thank you all for your awesome support, and I'll see you guys next time.